So hello and welcome back to another video. Now today I'm out with the lure rod and I'm going to be after some bass. Now we are currently the 1st of December, so it's the first day of December. You'd officially class it as winter now. I'm going to be out doing some lure fishing, hopefully going to connect to some fish. Now I'm going to start with a surface lure today, probably a Patchinko, maybe the 140. Conditions are fairly good, it's a nice pleasant day, it's quite cold, but yeah, the sea's flat calm, as you can probably see behind me. We've got a little bit of swell, but you won't really see that here. It's breaking a bit further out there. Now really today is just an exploration day, to be honest. I'm out for a couple of hours until it gets dark. It's probably sunset's probably in about, I think, 2.5 hours time, so we've got a little while to catch some fish. Now I'll be mixing it up with the lures today, chopping and changing between surface lures, subsurface and shallow divers, and we'll just see what we can find. So yeah, I'm just going to roam around the beach. I've got no specific mark I'm fishing today. It's not like I've come to a spot and I'm going to fish here for the next hour. I'm literally just going to move about, try and find the fish, and we'll see how we get on. So I'm going to get down to the beach, we'll get fishing, hopefully we can find a bass today. So as you'll be able to see, there's a hell of a lot of weed on the beach at the moment. Now this is the case all around the west coast. All this heavy swell we've had, and you can see the power of the swell, because all of that there is really thick kelp. Just rips it off the seabed, and on those big tides it brings it in. And you can see there's loads of flies flying around. Now on the high water this can actually be really good to fish. If you can fish in amongst the weed, the bass will come in and they'll be feeding on things like this, and little sand fleas. Also good for mullet as well, although I've never caught a mullet myself. But it is a really nice day today, nice and calm, very little wind, sun's out. So let's hop on to some boulders and see if we can find a bass. So I've just climbed onto some rocks here, and these things are like ice. You can probably see all the darkness on it. They're like black ice. So I'm going to be standing firmly in one place. Now I'm starting with a Patchinko 140. I might put a diver on after. Basically what I'm fishing over, it's a boulder bed. So it's all just dark boulder beds. There's no clean patches at all. You've got the odd rock like that one just in front of me sticking up. So let's blast this lure out and see if we can hopefully find a bass. I'm going to start with a cast to my left and just work my way round. I'm not really going to be able to see that lure either, because there is a bit of chop to the sea. There's also a lot of tide as well. Just got to hope these waves don't crash over me. Well, I said before that swell was breaking further out, but it's actually quite lumpy around here. And there's also quite a bit of weed in the water. I've only had 2 casts, but I've had weed on each cast so far. I'm going to persevere with this top water lure for now. And then I might either move and try further along, or I'll try a different lure. Well, that's 2 full boots. Jesus. I'm in. I didn't even have to do anything with that. I cast that lure out and it was just drifting in the tide. I was actually looking down because I had a wave coming towards me, and then all of a sudden, bang! It's only a small bass, but oh, it's heading for that head. Hopefully it stays on there. Nice. Oh, well, check that out. Oh, he's taking that hook quite deep. Right, I'll get sorted. I've got to get out of the way because I've got a wave coming. So there we go. Nice bass on the Patchinko 140 there. Now he is bleeding a bit, so I'm going to get him unhooked straight away. But yeah, it's a good start, that. So, only a couple of casts in. First fish down. Little bass there. Probably £1.5, not even £2. Now he's got his fin down. I'm just going to get him in this pool here. Now unfortunately he's taking that hook right down. Now it was fairly easy to get out, but there's quite a bit of blood coming out of him, so I'm going to leave him in that rock pool just for a second. But he's not kicking much at all. Now that's a shame. I don't want to keep any bass today. It's inside, so I will keep it if I have to. I'd rather keep a fish than throw it back dead, to be honest. That's the way I look at it. But yeah, I've had some waves come in. I've got 2 soaked boots. My boots are both full. I had a set of waves come in, and honestly, on those rocks, they're so slippery. They're literally like black ice. So when a big wave comes in and covers the whole rock, I literally just get down low and push my feet into the rock because I don't want it to pull me off it. And yeah, I cast the lure out that time, and I saw a set of 1 or 2 waves coming towards me, and I thought, oh god, here we go. So I didn't do anything with the lure. I was keeping my eye on the waves coming in, and then all of a sudden the rod just bent over and that bass took it. So as I said before, there is tide here, so as I'm casting out, the tide's taking the lure. So yeah, you don't really even need to do much with it. There's a bit of chop on the water, so it's going to move about on the water anyway. Now this bass here, as I've been talking, is in this pool and it's not moved whatsoever. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a knock on the head. I'll keep that one. Got no intention of keeping any more, but hopefully we can catch some more. Now I will say as well, anyone who watches my channel knows I absolutely love topwater fishing. Nice to get one in December now, actually, 1st of December, so bass is still taking the topwater lures, but I love a Patchinko. This is the Patchinko 140, and this is actually the spring minnow colour. So it's sort of like a sand eel colour with purple under the bottom there. Now this is from Mr. Fish, Mr. Fish Jersey, so any lures that you want, go on his website, and yeah, he's got speedy delivery, so nice to get a bass off the top. So I've just given that fish a knock on the head, just to put it out its misery. Now I'm going to get back onto those rocks. I'm not going to bother setting this camera up. Sometimes I like to have 2 cameras just so you can see a bit more in the video, but I don't want it to get swept away by a wave. So yeah, I'm going to leave my bag and that here, get back onto those rocks, and hopefully we can find a few more fish. Now, there's not much of a break in between all these waves. You've just always got to keep an eye on them here, because all it takes is that one rogue one, and believe me, they certainly come in. It could take you off your feet quite easily. Just like that. Well, I've definitely saw and felt that one. Oh, that was an absolutely quality take. They're swimming towards me and heading straight for a rock. It's only a small bass, but bloody hell. Oh, he's behind the rock. No. Yeah, Jesus Christ. That's what you call a bass take, for sure. Right. Looks like a better fish, this. Oh, it is a better fish. Right, how am I going to do this? Can I lift him up or what? It's definitely a better fish, that. Oh, shit. Come on. Oh. Guys, only just hooked. That was absolute carnage. So I tried unhooking this fish on the rock and I got swamped. I don't know if you can see, but I'm absolutely soaked. I got swamped by a wave. My pliers fell out my hand, fell into the sea, so I've lost my pliers. But this is a nicer fish, this. Let's get it unhooked. I'm actually going to get a quick measure of this fish. He's quite lively. Oh. Now my reel and rod are definitely going to need a rinse later. Taking an absolute soaking. Right. 0. What we got? 54. So that's a nice fish, that. 54 centimetre. There we go. That's a beautiful fish, that. 54 centimetre bass. That is quality. I'll check out the blues on it, the blue and whites in the fin. But that's a great fish, that. Now let's get him back because I've got that first one. Well, that was an absolutely fantastic take. Let's get him back in the water. That's what we came for. It's exactly what we came for. Takes like that, releasing it back in the sea. Oh, this camera's wet. I'm absolutely soaked. Now that was pretty epic. I've got the sun facing directly at me, and even though I'm wearing shades, it's difficult to see. I banged the lure out that time, and I was just working it. I could see the splash in the sunlight, if that makes sense, rather than actually seeing the lure. That fish came up and that took like a tropical fish. It just bang. Yeah, and just swam deep. But luckily it was just hooked in the lip. I had a nightmare getting it up onto those rocks. Got soaked again, dropped my pliers in the bloody water. But yeah, that's mad. Yeah, the Patchinko doing the damage. Now that swell coming in and just the tide ebbing out and sucking out is really making conditions perfect. So I'm going to have a few more casts off this rock while I can, and yeah, we'll see if we can find another bass. But it's been insane. A bit gutted about losing those pliers. They're good pliers, those. Anyway, let's do it. So my pliers are down there somewhere now. We got a bloody big wave coming. Well, that last bass also bent out one of the hooks on the bottom here. Jesus Christ. Well, let's see if we can pick out another bass before that tide drops too much. Both taken in exactly the same spot pretty much. Well, there seems to be a lot more of this in the water now. It's all drifting past. Now what I've been doing is just scanning around, casting that direction and scanning around. I've picked up both fish pretty much straight in front of me. Now I'm giving it like less cast in this area because this is where the majority of the weed is on the surface. So most of the time I'm picking up weed, but if I cast out there now, I am getting away with the odd cast where I'm not picking up any weed, but the tide's also racing through there. So all I'm doing is twitching the rod like that and working the lure, and then I'll just sort of leave it and let it drift a bit and then give it a few more twitches. Now with fishing marks like this, you never know when a bass is going to come up. Like I said, it's just all boulders, so they can literally be in amongst those boulders anywhere, and if you're bringing the lure over one of those boulders, that bass is going to clock it and take a big swipe for it. So it's not exactly one particular area that I'm targeting, because they really could be absolutely anywhere and of any size as well. So as that tide's dropped, I've had a few more casts in that area, scanning round like I said I was doing, but no more bass. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to move along the rocks. Now I'm not too sure which way to go, whether to go to my left there and fish some shallower water, or towards my right. Now it's also shallow round there, apart from the swell is absolutely pumping that side. So yeah, I'm going to just take a little look around, scan the water and see where it looks good, give it a go. And hopefully we can find another bass or two. The size of these waves, that's a good 7 foot, that. Crazy. Bloody hell. So as you can see, back at the car now, I'm going to call it a day. Now all in all, it's been a great little trip. I've had 2 bass in the end. They both came fairly early into the session. Now what I did was I headed over the other side of the bay and started fishing into some surf, but it was absolutely pumping. I was using a little Samson shad, and I feel it was just getting a little bit lost in the swell. It was a little bit too light to be fishing in those conditions, a little bit too sketchy as well. So I've made my way back to my car, and yeah, the sun's setting, so I'm gonna knock it on the head for today. Now that second take from that second bass was absolutely phenomenal. It came up and just no hesitation, absolutely just went for it. I saw the tail swirl out the water, it went straight down, and I just wound into it to try and get it close to me. But yeah, it's takes like that I really love topwater lure fishing. And it just goes to show the temperature of the water is probably about 12 or 13 degrees now, so it has dropped. As I said earlier, we're into December, the first day of December today, but it does go to show you will still catch bass throughout the winter on surface lures. Now when the temperature drops loads and the bass become a bit less active, plus the water temperature drops to sort of 5, 6, 7, 8 degrees, it can be tricky then, but I always carry a surface lure with me all year round in my tackle box. So anyway, I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me today on my little bass session. It's been great fun. thank you very much for watching. With it being the 1st of December, I'm not too sure when I'll put this video up, so I'd just like to wish everybody a happy Christmas. I hope you enjoy the festive period. Thank you very much for supporting my channel throughout the year. It really doesn't go unnoticed, so hopefully in the new year we'll have a few more videos, some big fish, some good footage, and yeah, maybe a giveaway as well. So once again, thank you very much. I'll see you on the next one.